Hello and welcome. I am Linda Cullen from Crafty Stampin', and welcome to Coffee and Crafts. Thank you for adjusting time a little today. I'm still playing catch up from having my computer out for like 3 or 4 days. And thank you for last week. I guess, I don't know, you love technology and then you hate technology. I don't want to talk about it too much. I'm afraid the computer will hear and be like, huh. But, no, I rebooted it one day and it just went, not going to start back up again. It would go along. It's an apple. It would have a little apple sign and it would get to the end and then go, that's all I'm going to do. So hubby, did what he did with it, and he basically stripped the hard drive and then restored from a backup. And so it's kind of like having a brand new computer with all your old files. So every time I open a new, like I go to open Excel and it goes, oh, can't operate Excel. You need a new, whatever. So you think you're fine until, you go to open something else. So bear with me, and I hope we have everything working properly. But again, thank you. I'm kind of waiting for everybody, to pop on a little bit. So let me show you what you're going to do. I just was kind of playing with stuff this morning. I did not have a card. Decided this morning, usually I have an idea what I'm going to do when I come down in the morning. I did not today. So this is what I came up with. This is the Ornate style stamp set. Also the Parcels and Postage stamp set for the greeting. I saw a card from a total different stamp company on Instagram, and it kind of stuck out in my mind. I'm like, I could do something like that. That's kind of cool. So this is what we are going to be doing today. A little bit of paper piercing, some little heat embossing, kind of fun. So what we're also going to do, what I'd like to do is say thank you to everybody for tuning in and for sharing the broadcast. So today, if you are watching and you leave a comment during this broadcast live on Facebook, because that's the only place I'm live, I will enter you in to win the Regal's enamel shapes. And I'm going to pick that at the end of this broadcast. If you are watching a shared version of this video, i.e. Sally Stamper has shared it and it's showing up on Sally Stamper's Facebook feed, you can't leave the comment on Sally Stamper's Facebook page. You have to click through to Crafty Stampin' and leave it there. I cannot see the comments that are left on others. But thank you. If you do not win the Regal enamel shapes, or you are watching this later, either on Facebook or on YouTube, because I will put a replay up on YouTube, I will enter you in to win the Hung with Care stamp set. That is a Hostess set from last Christmas, and we will pick that next week. So hopefully the computer gods stay with me and everything is okie dokie. Fine. All right. Thank you everybody for popping on. Ooh, excuse me. Let's go pick the giveaway from 2 weeks ago. What would have been last week, but 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago, it was the Seasoned with Kindness. And I have everybody's name here in random.org, and you can see lots of doubles. This is from both Facebook and YouTube. I do a little magic with Excel, pulling all these names in. And as I get to the top here, because there were a lot of names. Wow, there are a lot. I'll go a little faster. I like people to see the names. I kind of like transparency in doing giveaways. So I'm going to hit randomize, and the name that pops to the top will be our winner. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Dun, dun, dun. And our winner is Debbie Schmucker. Green? I want to make sure I say it right. Debbie Green. Debbie, congratulations. Thank you so much for playing. If you head over to Crafty Stampin', CraftyStampin.com, and you go to specials and giveaways. Bum, bum, bum. And if my server moves fast enough. Here we go. And when you get over here, you just click this button that says claim your prize. And I will get that in the mail to you. let me just, people popping on. This is a project we're going to be doing here in a moment. But before we do, I just want to run through a couple things. Remember, we got Paper Pumpkin Kit. It's this adorable gingerbread house. Well, it's a gingerbread theme. It's going to be gift card holders, which we can always use towards Christmas because I love the gift of shopping. I tell my husband this all the time. He's like, oh, I don't like giving gift cards. I'm like, it's the best gift ever. And I'm sure once we get it, we'll all turn them into cards and different fun things. But if you check my Facebook feed, there is an adorable gingerbread house that Stampin' Up! Made out of 2 of these boxes. So that, on craftystampin.com, you can sign up, and you have till November 10th to sign up. Also, and I'm so behind, and so forgive me, we are in November, and I'm still on the breast cancer awareness. I'm part of a great group of demonstrators, and they've been doing it for 11 years. This is my 3rd year with them. I did the very first year, then I did last year, and again this year, but we couldn't get together to stamp. So we've come up with this great tutorial and $25 donation direct to Making Strides. And I will mail you this tutorial. It's got 22 cards under 4 collections. So they're ridiculously awesome. There's a bunch of cards and a bunch with wrapped in Christmas. And the details are on my blog now, but they'll also be in the blog Crafty Stampin', what the heck am I doing? Coffee and Crafts recap. I was ready to say scoop. I'm not doing the scoop right now. I'm doing Coffee and Crafts. Okay, so that is happening now, and we are close to our team goal of 6,000, but we are not there yet. So any help would be wonderful. All right, I think we're ready. Once I find the right camera here. Oh, let me show you while we're here. So this is the card that I created. I get to show off my card. So this is a card I created for the breast cancer tutorial pack. And so it uses the nothing better than bundle. And I know the past couple days, a couple cocktails is what I've needed. I don't know about y'all, the stress. I just walked away. I'm like, I'm going to go read a book and ignore the rest of the world. Don't need to watch the news on endless repeat. But so that is that. Let's make this card. I think that's going to be the best thing to do right now. So let me pull you in so you can see a little bit more of the desk. All right. And here we go. So I got some papers that we're going to pull out. I've already cut stuff. And there will be, and it'll be prettier than this for y'all. As always, I'd like to do a PDF for you so that you can recreate it. Yours would be in color. My color printer has given up. My black and white printer doesn't want to behave either. But it's got a nice color picture. It's got all the cuts and all the products and a place that you can leave some notes. I'm sorry, there was so much product. There's not a big notes. But you can always, do that on the back. That's what we got. So you don't have to take too many notes at the moment. All right, so I'm going to start with stamping. So I have a piece of vellum, and I need this piece of basic black. So we're going to stamp first. And so I have, this is the large flower from Ornate Style. I'm doing this large flower. And then the greeting is from Parcels and Petals, and it's Somebody Loves You Lots and Lots. I had dug this out. I was looking for things that I could stamp for my team. Like, you did it, congratulations. And this was sitting on my desk, and I kept looking at this. Somebody loves you lots and lots. And I just really love that saying. So that's what we're using and why we're using it. So I'm going to be bad, and I'm using a now retired product. I don't know what Stampin' Up! Was thinking with retiring the Embossing Buddy. I'm considering ideas. I'm thinking cornstarch. But I haven't had time to sit down and come up with a alternate solution to using the Stampin' Buddy. But I will let you know when I come up with something. I just haven't had time to practice yet. All right, so I'm inking the large flower up here on Versamark. And I'm just going to stamp it in the middle. This is just a 1/4 sheet of vellum. And So I hope that came out okay. And so let's pull this out and see. Whereas lots of the panels, you can do two sides. If you screw up, you can't really do use two sides of vellum if you mess up. It just doesn't work. Oh, let's see if we get this is white embossing powder. Yeah, my middle. All right, we'll make that work. It's just a little light in the middle. All right, I'm gonna put that aside. And let's do my greeting, and then we'll heat emboss all at once. Okay, again, so the greeting is from Parcels and Parcels and Petals. I keep wanting to say Petals and Parcels. All right, so now see if I can, without getting my head in the way, if I can get this in the middle. Bum, 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 and straight. We'll see. All right, let's see. Ooh, I might have done it. Let's see. I always get asked about these little bins and whatever. I do have on my blog, there is if you go up to, on the homepage, the menu bar is called Specials. Down the bottom it's called Downloads and Resources. I have, they used to connect to Amazon, a link of where you can get these containers and such, but Amazon changes stuff all the time, so I don't keep up with them. And FYI, anytime I do connect anything that I do find, I'm not earning money off any of it. It's always just, hey, look what I found. This is awesome. Just FYI. I know some people do have affiliates. I don't. I can't keep up with all that. All right, so we're going to heat emboss both of these. So let's. I've got powder on my desk. Yeah. So the only thing I don't like with working embossing powders, I end up with a mess everywhere. So we're going to heat. So I'm starting with my greeting. Heat this up. And say I haven't seen too many questions. I'll go back if I've missed anybody's questions or anything. All right, so there's the greeting. Move that aside. Now we're going to do the flower. If you can see that, yeah, you can kind of see it happening. So someone asked why I would use the embossing buddy. Why wouldn't I use it? I try to use only things that Stampin' Up! Has for sale, because I know it's irritating when you see somebody use something and then you can't get a hold of it. So I try to make sure everything I use is at least obtainable, or you can make it. So this is why I'm like thinking, oh, I could probably make something out of cornstarch easily. I just haven't done it yet. Because it's frustrating when you see something and you can't get it. All right. Oop, get that spot. Okay. All right. I think we got that. All right. So, yeah, a couple spots were light, but we'll make that work. All right. So I'm going to let that cool. These two cool over here for a minute. No, they don't really cool that much, but we got gluing to do. All right. Move that out of the way. So here I have a piece of Whisper White. I'm going to take my silicone pad, and I have a whole bunch. This is the entire Brights collection, which is why I said let's make a Brights, not a Bright card, but a Brights card. And they're all cut into 1/2-inch strips. So I'll just kind of line these up, or I will grab the wrong one, or in the wrong order. There we go. All right, so there's my rainbow order that I'm gonna do. All right, we're gonna glue them over here. So One, I'm using my liquid glue. This usually is a bit easier to do with liquid glue. You could do it with seal, but okay, there we go. So I'm going to do a strip. If I can pick this up. And they are longer. Sometimes I find it is easier if it's longer. I don't have to worry. It's one piece. I don't have to worry about lining up. So the first one's the hardest. I just want to make sure I line it up with the top of my Whisper White. Okay. And then from here on, I'm just going to butt it up to this one. So now again, add the Tombow. Now I'm doing Melon Mambo. Putting it here, and again, like I said, butting it up. And then, oops. Okay. And it's just a matter of add Tombow, put down my paper, and move on to the next one. Add Tombow. I got kind of a little blob over here, so I'm going to, instead of putting it down evenly, I'm going to put it down this end first, so it kind of smushes the Tombow glue that direction. There we go. Daffodil. Oops. There we go. I apologize if you can hear my husband. He's on a teleconference. I cannot coordinate my lives with his teleconferences because he's on the phone all the time. He's now got a little headset. So I used to be able to hear both sides of the conversation. Now I only hear his. Bermuda Bay. Now, Pacific Point. And last but not least, gorgeous grape. Okay, so what I did when I did the first one, so these are a 1/2 inch. So that should come up to a 5-inch piece of Whisper White. But when I did the first one, I guess I didn't get them snug up against, or my cuts weren't exact. So I went, this one ended up to be actually 5 1/8. So I cut the Whisper White this time at 5 1/8, and I'm much more exact. So we are going to trim all that up. I'm going to pull out my trimmer. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so first we're going to trim off all these ends, which is why it's kind of nice to have it, make them bigger. So you have leeway. So, you know, I'm only really worrying about getting them up next to each other on the top and not... because I focus on that, next thing I'd look down, I'd have one a little left, one a little right, and they wouldn't be in the right spot. So it's just easier to trim. So there's one side. I'm going to flip and do the other side. And I'm just eyeballing it here with the cutting line with the trimmer. And a few of them are sticking. Get those out. Throw those away. And now I'm just going to trim this little white panel off the back, the bottom. There we go. Okay. So there is my background panel. Now I still have the cutter because I trimmed that. Yep, so I'm going to need to cut a little off the bottom. So I am going to, let's see, so this was cut 1/8 off. Let me double check. It's always easier. Let me try this. It's always easier to cut less, and then make a second cut than it is trying to add back on. Okay. So there we go. So now I just wanted the lightest. Actually, there's a smidge of white. I'm going to custom that too. I'd rather try and customize some stuff there. Okay, there we go. So now, yeah, I didn't want to see the white. It's like the crisper white is purely to be glued down on. If I wanted to put white on it, great. Like with the black panel here, I would just add it to a black panel or a white panel. The goal, like I said, of this was purely to be glued onto. All right, so where is my adhesive? Here we go. All right, so here I'm using Stampin' Seal. And attach this to the basic black panel. All right, with the smallest of reveals. So let me look at this. Okay, so now what we can do, so if you don't want to take a lot of time, you can attach it just like this. I think this looks really cool, and I considered it doing this with you guys, is to just attach it so you could see the difference of fussy cutting the flower versus just overlaying the entire vellum. But let's see how quickly I can fussy cut, because I think this really stands out that way. But you can do both. So we're gonna quickly fussy cut. Let's see how talented my fussy cutting skills are. Get the purple off of there. So you guys, will you fussy cut if you have to? There's the question. Sometimes to me it's like that's what makes the design, so I'm fussy cutting. But if there's a die, I will definitely go all out of my way to use the die. But curious, would you be interested in fussy cutting? You know, is that something that's in your wheelhouse? Like, sure, no problem. Or is it like, I avoid it? Avoid it like the plague. That doesn't mean as much as it used to. You know, it's what are we thinking? See, and so I see people I like the brights colors. You could easily do this with all the subtles colors, all the regals. I almost mixed them, you know, and I actually had pulled out a bunch of other colors from different the color families. But then I was like, hey, you know, Stampin' Up did a really good job coming up with these color families to the point where I have them in my drawer in this order. My heat gun just fell on the ground, but is all wrapped up in my chair, so it didn't fall. And it makes me happy to see them all in this kind of rainbow order. So I was like, you know what? I like these brights and these regals and everything just sort of in this. Why not leave it that way? You know? So, do you guys store your supplies in rainbow order, or do you store them in Stampin' Up order? I store in Stampin' Up order. I have considered changing to a rainbow order, but there's work involved there, and I just don't find the time to do that. I will say everything is in order except my blends. My blends are in this was the first release, and then this was the second release, and I really need to move those into more of a rainbow color at the moment, or this. I think that they would work better in rainbow order for me versus Stampin' Up order. Okay, almost done. Not the best fussy cutting. There's a few places I could have been a little bit better, but not bad. All right. So there's our flower. Now I'll tell you what I did. So I wanted it a smidge longer than it is. So I cut it and I glued it behind the greeting just to make it like a 1/2 inch longer. I wanted it to take up more of the panel. So what did I do? So I want to put it, so I'm going to cut, pull out my trimmer again. So I kind of want it, I'm going to cut right along here. Here we go. Woo! 2 pieces. So bring my silicone back. All right. You know what? I'm not doing it that way. I'm going this way. All right, so here's the back of my greeting. I'm going to put the adhesive on the back of the greeting. All right, there we go. So now, and I keep laying it on the card so I can kind of get it exactly where I want it, which is why I didn't want it. I goofed. I forgot that I didn't want to do it this way. There's always ways you can do things multiple ways. All right, so I get the adhesive off of that. All right, so like this, and like this, and I got it upside down. So we're gonna do it again. All right, like this. And I also, when I did this, because this is a little bigger, I didn't want to hide one of the colors, so I made sure that my greeting kind of goes in between the 2 colors. So come back here again. This is gonna go here. This is gonna go here. All right, so that's, actually let's go up one. Let's try and do it up here. Let's do this one a little different. If I do this and that. Okay, so now though, I got this sticky here, and I need to get a scrap. I have one. Oh, I thought I had one. Okay, so because I put all this adhesive on the back, I now no longer want that sticky. I don't want it sticking to my card because I want it popped up on a dimensional. So I'm just taking a scrap piece of whatever, just happened to be vellum. And so now that's behind, you can't see it. And now I get to attach this onto here. So I'm gonna start with, all right, so I want it in the center here. I made this longer purposely, the greeting, so that I can tweak it as I need it. So I can flip this over so I know that this is the width of the base that I want to put the dimensionals on. So now I know the dimensionals will fit. All right, here we go. I'm gonna put this, oh, I'm gonna end up losing Bermuda Bay. Nope, there it is. All right, so there we go. Now before I trim that though, here's my card base. Let's see, bring it down here. All right, so I'm going to add to this thick whisper white. Let's add our seal to the back of my black part. Here we go. And now I want to center this on here. All right. Now I'm going to cut off the ends of the greeting to where I want them. 1 and 2. There we go. And we're not done because I want to add, these are, oh goodness, what are these were in a couple years ago. I love these. These are, and I don't use them enough, frosted and clear epoxy droplets. I'm using the clear. Okay. And I'm going to take my Take a Pick tool and I'm going to use a bunch of them. They look like big water droplets and it's just kind of fun. So it's couple big ones here. And I'm also, you know what, this kind of floppy, so we're gonna, let's take a small dimensional. So I'm gonna take a mini dimensional. Let's see. Take a mini dimensional. I'm gonna take off the paper. All right. So here's a mini dimensional. And I'm going to stick it under, so this isn't quite so floppy because it's only attached under the greeting. And I'm going to aim for this center of this flower because the dimensionals will, you can see them through the vellum, but by putting it where there already is a great amount of white embossing powder, it's not as obvious. But then, glue I got all over, put that there. I can take one of these, I can actually put it right on there. Kind of hides any adhesive boo-boos or the dimensionals or anything else you want to put on it. You can't see them. But I think these are just so pretty. That's enough. Okay. What do you think? Is that good? I just think it was a fun, happy card. Just felt like we needed a nice, happy card today. Everybody happy. All right. So, like I said, there'll be a recap on my blog later. And right now we're going to do some giveaways. So if you haven't had a chance, right now, real quick, jump on and just leave a comment. It can be hi. You can, say what you liked, what you didn't like. Be nice. But leave a comment. And I'm going to come over here and let's see if this comment picker will work for me today. If it doesn't, I will do it right afterwards. Sometimes I just need to, quote unquote, scrape the page. All right, so now we're in. So let's see. Come on. It's thinking. It's thinking. Here we go. Here we go. We might be in. Dun dun dun. Bum bum. Hello. Where is it? Get comments. Okay. Let's see. Oh, we're looking good. All right. So let's head over here and scroll up, down. Come on. Trying to find the right spot to scroll. All right, here we go. Ooh, that is not the button I want to hit. That's the button I want to hit. All right, so I'm going to hit that start button. You're going to see a bunch of names kind of fly by, and then all of a sudden it'll just say the winner is, and it's going to pick a winner. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, start. Bum, bum, bum. And our winner today is Robin Papard. Is that the right way to pronounce it? I'm sorry if it's not. Robin, congratulations. Head over to craftystampin.com and head up to specials, giveaway, and then click here, click to claim your prize, and I will get that in the mail to you. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I will be back next week. Tammy and I are off for a couple weeks. If you are curious about Onstage, that starts tonight for North American demonstrators. I don't know what I can post or what I can't post, so I know I can't post videos. So, but if I can send some pictures and maybe give you some updates, be sure to tune into Crafty Stampin'. Facebook, Instagram are probably the places that's going to end up. So please follow me there. And I look forward to seeing you guys all later. So I'll be back next week. Have a wonderful weekend if I don't see you before that. Bye, everybody.